I'm Dr. Simratpreet Kaur. So today we'll be discussing the various topologies that we implement in the computer networks. So starting with that, so what is topology? Topology basically refers to the configuration of the connections between the various nodes. How we are, in which configuration we are connecting all the nodes, that is basically a topology. So topology of a network refers to the configuration of the cables, computers and the other peripherals that we are combining in a network. So we have various forms of topology that we implement in the computer networks. So the very first one is the linear bus, second one is the star topology, third one is the ring topology, next is the tree or the hybrid topology. So we will be discussing all the types of topologies one by one. So starting, so as I've told you that we are going to discuss the four topologies: mesh, star, bus and ring topology. So first of all, we will start that what are the basic physical topologies. So physical topologies basically is the physical layout of the nodes in a network. Layout means how the nodes are being connected in a network. So the basic fundamental shapes in which we can connect the nodes in a network could be the bus form, the ring form and the star form, or we can say the bus topology, star topology and the ring topology. And we can also create the hybrid topologies, means that we can combine these types of topologies and we can implement a new network. That we will discuss later. So yes, starting with the bus topology. So what is happening in the bus topology? A single cable is used to connect all the types of nodes in a network. Nodes means the connecting devices in a network. So we are using a single cable to connect all the types of the networks, all the types of the nodes in the network. So what is happening? The devices here share the responsibility of basically including the data which is basically meant for that. So one node is broadcasting the data through the cable to all other nodes, but the desired node will only be able to collect the information which is actually required by it. Rest of the nodes will reject the information which are not meant for them. Next, the terminators will help the signals to stop after reaching the end of the wire. Here we are using the terminators, and then it also terminators also help to prevent signal to bounce back to the center. And also because we are only using a single cable in this type of a topology, so this type of topology is very cost effective, it is less expensive. So here you can see we are using a single cable and all the nodes are being combined to this cable. So for example, if this node wants to send the data to this node, so it will send the information through the cable. That information will be broadcasted to all the nodes which are connected to the cable, but only this node, which is the designated receiver, will take the information from the channel. Rest of the nodes will reject that information because that is not meant for them. So as I have redrawn the bus topology, here you can see that I have connected a lot of stations through a single cable, and there is a drop line through which the information can be given to the concerned node. So bus network topology is basically used in order to connect the nodes in a LAN system. So here, as we are using the single cable, we are not dependent on a central host over here. That is the advantage. And also if we want to remove any node in between from the cable, that is not going to affect the remaining nodes in a network. So that is an advantage of this type of topology. Disadvantage could be the main connection between all the type of nodes is a cable, and if the cable stops working, the whole of the network can be disturbed. It will not work. So that is the major disadvantage of the bus topology. So all the stations in bus topology, they are connected to a single cable. as I've told you. So the station, when it is sending the information through the cable, as I've already told you that the information is being broadcasted. So the terminators at the end of the cable will prevent the signal to bounce back to the concerned sender. So all the stations will constantly monitor the information through the cable. Whichever information is required by the concerned node, that node will detect the message. Rest of the nodes will reject that message because that is not concerned with the remaining nodes. So that is how the information is being passed through the bus topology. So all the stations in the bus topology, they are sharing the same cable, and the same form of the control is required in order to make sure that which station will transmit and when it will transmit. Also, which station will receive and when it will receive. So that has to be taken care in terms of the bus topology. And advantages, because a single cable is required, so it is very easy to install the cable and the quick connections can be made through the bus topology. And disadvantages, in case there is a bad connection within the cable, that can drop out the whole network. All the nodes will not be able to communicate. So yes, advantages, it works well for the small networks. It is relatively inexpensive as we are using a single cable only. Then it is very easy to add also. We can use any number of nodes to it because there is a single cable only. Then disadvantages, overall the management cost can be high because there are a lot of nodes and they are all connected to a single cable. So overall management of the network has to be ensured. For that, the cost could be high. Then next is potential for congestion with network traffic. Yes, there could be a congestion. There could be the collision of the data when both the stations are sending the data at the same time. So that is one of the major problems in bus topology. Now, next type of topology is a ring topology. So in ring topology, what is happening? Each and every node is connected to its adjacent node. So the connection is in such a way that it forms a ring. So that type of topology is basically called as ring topology. So each node is connected to its nearest node, means it is connected to its adjacent node. So they form a topology, they form a layout which is in the form of a ring. And one method of passing the information in the ring topology is token passing. Now, active topology, each workstation is transmitting the data to its adjacent station. So the overall layout will be in the form of a ring. So what is happening in a ring topology? It is a very useful topology in LANs. So, and moreover, it does not rely on the central host. We do not need any kind of central host in order to communicate between the stations. So this network can still function even if one of the node has stopped working. Still, because there is no central hub, and if one connection is failed, the concerned station can send the information through the other connection. So that is an advantage. Problem could be that as it is forming a closed loop, so data has to be sent through a subsequent station. Each station cannot directly send the information to the other station. It has to be passed through a subsequent process, right? Like the particular station can pass the information to only its adjacent station. It cannot directly pass the information to any other station in the network. So that is one of the disadvantage in ring topology. So here you can see that if this station directly wants to connect with this station, that is not possible. This station has to connect with this station, either this station or this station. So they have to follow a certain path in order to reach the concerned station. A ring network, further explanation is that all the nodes are joined with each other through point-to-point network, and that point-to-point network is basically forming a ring type structure or a loop type structure. That is why this topology is called as ring topology. Then all the transmitted signals, they are regenerated. They can be regenerated even if the signal gets corrupted. So the other station will regenerate the station that it has received from the previous station. So that is one of the advantage. Then they are accessing a shared network, and they are having, this topology is having the capability of broadcasting the message. Why the message is being broadcasted? As I told you, that each and every node is sending the information to its adjacent node. So it will subsequently follow each and every station to reach the final destination. So in that way, your message is being broadcasted in this topology. So advantages is that there are point-to-point connections. So the connections could be very tight and effective. Then electronic and maintenance of point-to-point links are much simpler, and they are also cost effective. So the structure also is very simple, as all the adjacent nodes, they are connected to each other and they form a loop. So the structure is overall very easy. Then disadvantage is that it offers only two alternate sources, because one node is connected to its adjacent nodes. So either it can follow this path or it can follow this path only. Any other path could not be followed. Then, and also, if the diameter of the ring is very large, then also there is a probability which results in a high signal attenuation within the network if the diameter of the ring will be large. So it is easier to maintain, that is the advantage, because it is forming, there is a point-to-point network and they form a cable, they form a loop type structure. And also it is very suitable for transmitting the information over LANs having the comparatively larger distances. And it also handles a very high traffic volume, as more number of nodes can be connected through this type of topology. Disadvantage, it requires definitely, because as we make more number of connections, we need more number of cables. So requirement of cables will be more in this type of topology, and it is not as widely used as bus topology because of the maintenance purposes. Then next type of topology is the star topology. Now what is happening in the star topology? Here the processing is being done by the central node. There is one node which is called as hub. All the other nodes in a network are connected to the central hub, to the central node. So this node is going to do all the processing. If this node wants to connect with this node, so this node will send the information to the host first, and then host will send the information further to this node, which is C6. Now problem is that all the communication has to be passed through this central hub. Otherwise, though no two nodes can communicate with each other directly, they have to communicate each other through the central hub. So that is one of the disadvantage as well. So every information has to be passed through the host. And also, if this hub will stop working, if any problem occurs in the hub, that will fail the whole network, because all the nodes are connected to the central node. So star topology, as I've told you, so each and every node is connected to each other. Each and every node is connected to each other through the central device called as hub. And any single cable connects only two devices, because the cable problem is affecting maximum two nodes. If any problem occurs in the cable, so within the cable only two nodes are connected. So if any of the cable stops working, it is not going to affect the whole network, as only two nodes are connected with a single cable. Then it can be easily, you can remove or you can add any kind of node at any point of time with the central hub. That is an advantage. So in star network, all the nodes, they are connected through point-to-point network, and they are connected to each other via central port. So it is, that central point is called as hub or the multi-port repeater. So this central point can be passive, active or intelligent type. So what is passive hub? Passive hub will connect the arms of the star topology only. It will not regenerate the signal. Okay, so that is the passive hub. Active hub will connect all the arms of the topology, and also it will regenerate the signal. That will be the active hub. Intelligent hub is basically connecting all the arms of the star, regenerating the signal, and also deciding that which is the shortest path through which it can send the information to the designated node. So advantage is that it is having less loss as compared to the star topology. Disadvantage is that if any problem occurs in the hub, that will disrupt the whole network. So that I have explained you. So now talking about the tree network. So in tree network, the wires that are used to connect the different nodes are collapsed into a single unit. There is a tree type structure. All the wires are being collapsed in that structure. So they form a layout which is equivalent to the shape of a bus. So that is why this type of network is called as bus topology. And here the hub that we are using, it does not require the switching function, and it also consists of the repeaters which will retransmit the signal if any of the signal will get corrupted. And also it is of a multi-point nature that can give rise to several problems which is related to the cabling. Then XX control is also difficult because many of the connections have been combined together. So if any of the wire gets a problem, then it will be very difficult to access that in which wire we are having, or in which cable we are having the problem. So whenever the two devices are exchanging the data over the link, the signal strength has to be adjusted in this type of topology. So that's all about the different type of topologies that we implement in the computer networks. Thank you very much.